Welcome to DevOps Daily channel. This channel is mainly useful related to DevOps content for the DevOps engineers who are currently working in the project or who are trying to transition their career into DevOps. So in the last video we covered what is Docker and why it is coming into picture, what happened before this Docker, after this containerization coming into picture. And architecture we covered, and few of the comments we covered, and what happened with the docker file we covered, what are the comments executing in the docker file that we covered. Today I want to discuss with you guys about the main heart of the docker is, as we discussed, is docker file, right? So in the docker file we used a couple of commands: run, copy, add, entry point, cmd, maintainer, user. Like this we discussed these type of keywords or comments in the docker file. So based on this docker file only, how we return this docker file, based on this only the exact image will create. By using by building this docker file we will get the image. But here one thing, most of the things, 90% of the time you will, if the interviewer ask you question, means it's about how to optimize this docker image. Because if it's like more size is more, then the build time also will increase, right? So our requirement is like we need to have the our image size is very less, so that our build time will be less, so our deliverables also very fast. So it's coming from, if we want to know about Apple, before that you need to know about alphabets, right? So if the deliverables needs to make very fast, then our application needs to be ready or deploy very quick. If the application need to be deliver very quick, means the total steps or inside the process will be like very fast. So if the image is very less, then the build time will be also take very less time. If the image is, if the thing want to get the image itself, it will take 1 hour, means then your build time will be like 2 hours. So if the image pulling time is, if the image size is very less, means if it's took very little seconds, then your build will be complete within minutes. So this is where dependency, guys. Most of the times you will get these questions in your interview as well. So how to optimize this docker image, today we're gonna discuss. There are a couple of things coming from, if anything is a question asked by opposite person to you, then the answer will be in the total concept only. How to optimize this docker image, someone ask you, then you must think in a way that from where this image coming from where this image is coming, from docker file only. Okay, the whole concept is lies in this docker file only. First command we use in this docker file is from means it's a base image, so might be this base image also will be lead to heavy build time if it's take more size. So here one point is like by using alpine images. Why this? Again you need to have question by yourself, that why this alpine images, because these are very lightweight images where it can take only required OS libraries. That's why these are very light. Everybody will say like, I will take alpha image as the base image, so that my size, image size will be very less. But you need to expand, you need to explain why concept here, because those are lightweight base images where it can take only required OS dependencies or OS libraries. That's why I will use this alpine images. Like that you need to give. For example, if any of the normal Ubuntu or something take 70 MB, but this Alpine images will take 5 MB. Like this, you need to give explanation, guys. So another thing is like, we are using multi-stage builds. By using the multi-stage builds also, the size will be reduced, because building your application is one stage, and the final output of that one stage will can be taken uh, to a smaller runtime image, so that our image size will be also very less. From one stage I am taking building my application in one stage, and that final output to a smaller runtime image, so that the in between process will be avoided. So by using this multi-stage builds also, we can reduce the image size totally. And by deleting package package manager cache after installation to avoid unnecessary files. If there are any unnecessary files, those can be deleted in the stage itself. For example, apt-get clean. What is the command, guys? rmrf the specific files you want to delete, where lab apt something. So by deleting package manager cache also after installation to avoid these unnecessary files, so that the size will be reduces. And by combining multiple, each execution of the command will create one layer in the Docker file. For example, if you are using apt get update, in the next layer you mention like run apt install -y curl. So in these two instructions will create two layers. Irrespective of that, if we use both commands in one line, then creation of layers will be reduces. Apt install curl. So by combining two instructions in one will create less number of layers compared to individual execution of the instructions. By following this method also, we can reduce the image size in the Docker. And by excluding files, like .git, in the git we have .git nor ignore files, right? In those we need to avoid those files which are not useful during the execution, during the running. So those type of files we can mention in doc ignore. So every time while you are executing while you are building, these files will not executed, because those are represented in docker ignore file. So each Docker instruction will create a layer. So removing unused commands to keep the image small, and by removing the unused files in doc ignore file, like .git ignore, .git in the .git ignore files, and by writing the instructions in one line, like run executing, we are using run for two instructions, two layers. It will create two layers if we execute the instructions in two. So by writing in one line, it will reduce the number of layers as well. So like this, there are a couple of things, 1 2 3 4 5 6 things we have to explain in detail. Why? How to optimize the image? Why to optimize the image? Because if you need to think about that, why it needs to optimize, how we need to optimize. These are the things, if you cover while you are explaining, then it will be very meaningful, fruitful to the opposite person, that this person is aware on the concept and he know the practical as well. So this type of things you will get in interview during the Docker. Hope this video will be useful for you guys. If you want to know more such type of things, I will cover in the next videos as well. In the next 3 to 4 videos, I will come up with the interview based questions of Docker only. If you want to see the Docker basic introduction and background history and architecture comments, Docker simple Docker file with the Java applications, do watch my previous video which I was uploaded last 2 days back, I guess. So hope this video is very helpful to you guys. If you want to know or see these type of videos in future, do subscribe this channel, share with your friends who are thriving for this DevOps contents to transition their career into DevOps. Thank you everyone.